This week we are doing the pasta rocket experiment. Please bear with me, my cheek is still a little bit swollen from the procedure I had done. The pasta rockets use the complex carbohydrates from the noodles to use as a fuel, and then the hydrogen peroxide that breaks down as oxygen as the oxidizer. The oxygen is fed up through the whole of the pasta and then is sourced from the hydrogen peroxide. The yeast that we use catalyzes the hydrogen peroxide and breaks it down into oxygen, and this is what is known as an exothermic production. The oxygen is highly combustible, and then it'll just burn and burn and burn until the noodle is out of its supply. So when it's in the jar, it's met with a pretty good quantity, and as we discussed in a previous reaction, until it meets its limiting reagent, it'll just continue to burn. And as it's in this jar, it's slightly compressed. That's why we're leaving the lid off of the container. And it's met with a fair amount of energy to begin with, so the noodle almost has like a jet-like propulsion when you light it. So I have, let me turn my camera here. I have my jar and my noodle, everything set up here with my hydrogen peroxide and my yeast container. And I will try to light it on fire without harming myself or anyone around me. My lighter is running out of fluid. So I cannot get my noodle to catch on fire, and one reason that I think it is, I don't typically keep anything pasta-y in the house. I try to eat as gluten-free as possible. So the only things I had in the freezer were from some guests, and they have a little bit of freezer goo on them, and they're wet still. I tried to dry them out as best as possible, but it's not lighting on fire because of that. But other than that, everything in the reaction I could see would work out as explained. And if I were to do this reaction again, I would be more prepared and have a different type of noodle, dry noodle, something like that else in the house. But these were all I had, and like I said, they have some like ice chips on them, and even drying them out the best I could, they are still too wet to be able to light on fire.